All right, take two.
The Mind Buzz, now partnered with My Grito Industries.
This podcast episode of The Mind Buzz is brought to you by House of Chingazos. House of Chingazos is a Latino-owned online store that speaks to Latino culture and Latino experience. I love House of Chingazos because I like t-shirts that fit great and are comfortable to wear. I wear them on the podcast and to the carne asadas. Click the affiliate link in the show description and use promo code TheMindBuzz. That's TheMindBuzz to receive 10% off your entire purchase. The cash saved will go directly to the Mind Buzz podcast to help us do what we do best, and that's bringing you more Mind Buzz content. Click the link in the show description for more. The Mind Buzz is powered by Mind Buzz Media. Mind Buzz Media is an on-site video and audio podcast production company. Have you ever thought about starting your own video and audio podcast? Or do you have an existing podcast that you want to take to the next level? Mind Buzz Media brings a professional podcast studio to you. Visit mindbuzz.org for more.
The Mind Buzz. Podcast.
3, 2, 1. Boom. What is up, Mind Buzz Juniverse? What is up? Amber, why do you keep laughing at that?
Because I won't get over it.
Why not?
It doesn't get old.
We need a vote right now to see what we're going to call these people.
They're just listeners.
No, I feel like listeners is like, I don't know. It's because they do more than listen. They watch, they listen, they support, they know our guests, they talk to our guests, they go see our guests, whether in concerts, at art galleries, at their pop-up shops. It's a little bit different than listening.
I don't know, maybe
they do more than listening.
I don't want to be like an Avenger or something. And that's where it's going. That's what gives off the vibe of Mind Buzz Universe.
No. Despite the MCU, I know I'm wearing a Marvel's comic shirt right now, but trust me, there's 110% worth of information on Marvel Comics, and I know maybe 0.5 of that information. I'm a poser when it comes to Marvel. I think the art is cool. I love the art. I love the aesthetic. The movies are okay, but I'm not a comic nerd. That's it.
All right.
So when I think of universe, I think of you know what I mean? Like a storyline, a universe. People know what we talk about. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than that.
Okay.
It's more like a storyboard.
There's a lot going on.
Right? Like a universe. There's a lot going on in the universe. But no, my Grito Weekly today, maybe on the next one. But let's jump right into our guest for today. Badass artists, Jackie and Mark. Welcome to the Mind Buzz universe.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry.
We consistently have the debate about what to call people.
What's up for debate? Like what else do you guys
Oh, I don't know. I haven't come up with anything. So there's really no
Exactly,
debate right
see?
now. My debate is that I don't like it.
That's her debate.
That's valid. I understand.
That's
Right?
it.
But welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming out and doing this. Have you guys done anything like this before? I know you've done interviews before, but what about podcasts? Because they're a little bit different, right?
We've done like
3, I think.
yeah.
Maybe.
And
This might be the 3rd.
Yeah.
This might be.
Oh, cool.
a handful of them have been couples ones, so I think that makes it a little bit funnier because
Okay.
we'll bounce ideas off of each other. So
And you guys are from Whittier. That's super cool.
Yeah.
I'm from Whittier. Amber's not.
3 against 1.
There
It's
you go.
all right.
Paramount's cool. Paramount's cool.
No, yeah. Paramount is pretty awesome. I love being out there. Pretty cool.
It's one of those things that you have to know where it's at, because for a long time, I would always say Long Beach because they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then after I was like, no, I have to say that I'm from Paramount. Like, I have to say that I'm from my city so that people know where my city is. Because if I keep saying Long Beach, then they're never going to learn Paramount. So
I feel like Whittier's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's either you know it or you don't.
That's true.
I'll start naming like surrounding cities. I'll be like, oh, Pico Rivera or Montebello, El Monte. And then they're like, oh, I kind of know where.
Santa Fe Springs.
Yeah.
Santa Fe Springs.
But do people know Santa Fe Springs without knowing Whittier?
They know. I think that's the thing. Yeah. They know of Santa Fe Springs.
Right. But they don't know exactly where it
They're
is.
just like, oh, yeah.
Like Lebanon. People know that Lebanon exists, but can they point it out on a map?
Yeah.
Probably
No, they
not.
can't.
but Santa Fe Springs is small, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like tiny.
It's like a street. I think that's it. It's like a telecron from like for a couple of miles, and that's it. Maybe. I don't know. But I think the 5 runs through Santa Fe Springs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
There's not even I think you have to pass through Santa Fe Springs to actually get in Whittier from the 605 and the 5,
Yeah. If you get off the 5. Yeah.
right?
You have to pass.
Because I don't even know does Whittier even have an exit off ramp?
605.
605
Okay.
Whittier Boulevard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Right there by Pioneer, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's
Whittier,
3
Washington,
main-
Slauson.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there for a long time. I don't even know if there's an on or off ramp
Yeah.
for it.
But yeah, in South Whittier, the freeway is a little bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's
You
why.
got to travel through Whittier to get to any
Yeah.
kind of freeway.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that.
But you got the swap meet.
We got the swap meet.
You got the
Yeah,
swap
you
meet
guys do
right
have the
there.
swap meet.
Wait,
Right.
what's what meat is
Santa
there?
Fe
Santa
Springs
Fe
swap
Oh,
meet.
Springs.
duh.
Swap meet.
That's right.
Exactly. I haven't been in such a long time. They throw some pretty cool concerts out there. I think the last one I heard about was, I think it was Jim Morrison's birthday, and they had a Doors tribute band play on his birthday at the Santa Fe Springs swap meet.
That's cool.
Yeah, you guys like the Doors?
Yeah. Yeah. Not a huge fan, but yeah.
I know of them.
Yeah, there you go.
I always get shit for that, man. I always get shit.
Really?
You don't like the Doors? I'm like, it's not that I don't like them. It's
Right.
just it's never been a band that I'm like.
So what would be a band that you listen to where somebody would say, they're okay, that you would be flabbergasted by?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to get to know you.
Maybe
here.
like what?
Hot seat.
Oh yeah.
Hot seat?
I think I don't know. Maybe Jefferson Airplane. Maybe people are gonna be like,
No, I like Jefferson Airplane. Yeah. I like that era of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Summer of Love. Like it just birthed so many great artists back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not just musically, but just like maybe just musically, because I'm trying to think of like other artists like you guys, photographers. It probably birthed a lot of different.
I think
type of
surrounding that
artist.
whole the whole music.
Right.
All of that music. It's just like so many like photographers were following that music. Artists
Right.
were following that music. There was we saw a book on like psychedelic album covers, and it was just all that whole era of
Really? Can you look that up?
Sure.
Psychedelic art
it was psychedelic album covers.
album covers?
I think that it was a huge book. It
Yeah.
was a huge book.
We saw it at an Airbnb
Yeah.
we stayed at. I don't even remember the title. I just remember we took psychedelic drugs on that trip. So when we got to the Airbnb, we were like, "Oh, what the hell? Okay, let's read this."
Yeah, it was just a whole book of all those album covers.
Really?
But like backstories on some of the
Oh, that's
albums and
cool.
stuff like that.
Would you consider? Well, were the Beatles in
Oh, they were.
in the book?
Yeah, hell yeah. Bunch of almost all their album covers, I think.
When you look at Rubber Soul, that was like it was in there. It was like published in like 63, 64. That was like one of the first albums that kind of like hinted at like their psychedelic culture from the Beatles because of the warped pictures. See if you can get a. Did you find a book or no?
Oh, I forgot. We're looking for the book.
Yeah. Where was that?
It was that one.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
one.
Yeah.
Which one?
The psychedelia, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
66 to 70. Where was this Airbnb?
Joshua Tree.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That makes
kinda
sense.
figured.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, dude. Even when we honestly, every time we go to an Airbnb, I feel like whoever picks these books for Airbnbs they gotta know what's up because there's some really good books in Airbnbs, dude.
They're always like super specific to the theme of I think that space.
Of the space.
Yeah. We tripped out because we were there the whole day, and then I was like, Mark, they have a custom painted helmet. And he's like, no, they don't. And I'm like, it's literally up there. I'm like, that's what you do for a living. How did you not like walk in and notice it, I guess?
So what is that? What do you do?
I do a lot of custom painting, like the lowrider paint jobs, flakes, candies, pearls, all that stuff.
Flakes, candies, and pearls. You're gonna have to elaborate a little bit on that.
What do you want me to elaborate on first?
Flakes.
Okay, flakes.
For me, I know my flakes is somebody that books something with me and cancels on me. That's what I think. Or a frosted one.
Flakes are like metal flake, the sparkle.
Oh, okay.
Sparkle. That last car that I just painted is all full metal flaked. Yeah, it's just that when you see a sparkly paint job on a car, that's flake.
Oh, okay.
Like
So-
something like this? Like
Yes.
the-
Yeah.
So, Mark, you primarily paint on lowriders?
Not the only lowriders that I really paint are like personal cars.
Oh, okay.
But I do restorations. I do custom paint jobs. I do, friends usually contact me.
Oh my
I'm real
god.
selective on who I give those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a flake. What about what was the other thing?
So candies are the ones.
Candy.
Candy goes over the flake. It's like a transparent paint.
So
And
that makes it
it'll make it
look
pop.
like glass.
Yeah,
type,
well,
right?
it's almost the same kind of
Okay.
thing as like stained glass almost, where it's see through. It's a pigment, so you see the flake shining through that pigment. So a lot of the times it'll start off silver or gold flake, and then all those colors on top of it are just pigments.
And what's a crystal?
A crystal.
Yeah, did
No,
you
said
mention pearl? Pearl.
This is like pearl, right?
No, that's a
No?
flake. That's a flake
Oh.
job. Pearl
I thought
is.
I was right.
Well, I think what's the best way to kind of describe a pearl? Like makeup?
Almost like highlighter.
Yeah.
Like when girls put highlighter on their cheeks.
Yeah.
So it pops.
Uh-huh.
That blush that they'll put up, and you see that, you catch that like low gold tone off of like
Like
the peaks.
accentuate.
I know what it looks like because my dad used to have an orange, he had a Mustang, a 66 Mustang, and then they painted it orange pearl.
Yeah.
So it was like this, like, I don't want to say iridescent because iridescent brings
that's-
out other colors, but it was like in like almost like a iridescent-y, right? Like,
Yeah, it's about
It's
the
like
same.
pearlescent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
I
the same
guess, yeah.
kind of idea.
Whoa.
So like when you catch those cars that it looks white and then it passes by you and it flips kind of blue.
Oh yeah.
That's a pearl.
Whoa. How long have you been doing that for?
Now 12 years.
That's nuts, dude.
wow.
That's nuts. How did you get into restorations and that?
Seeing old cars.
Yeah.
My dad always had old cars and they were never like fixed up. So I was like, that's what we need. We need somebody to paint.
You need somebody to paint
But
those.
then like going to the car shows and stuff like that. I thought a mechanic did everything.
Really?
Yeah, I thought a mechanic painted cars and everything. So I was like, I want to be a mechanic. And then somebody was like, dude, that ain't no mechanic. You gotta,
Yeah, my dad was a mechanic, and I don't think he'd be able to paint a car. I wouldn't trust him. I trust him putting a starter, putting a starter or fixing a starter or fixing the electrical in a car, but not painting.
Yeah.
Dang.
No.
So you already had like an incline in art, like before working on cars or things like that. Like, was there already a passion before for art? Like, how did you know that you were an artist?
Jackie. The art came from Jackie.
He never wants to admit that he's an artist. I'm always the one that's like, you're like doing stuff because he's thinking about color, shapes, and stuff like that. I'm like, you're making abstract art basically, but on cars.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it took him a while.
Yeah.
Or even when you do like, what is it? Body work on a car. That's kind of like sculpting.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like make sure the lines are even. And
Yeah.
kind of smooth areas out.
Precision, like painting. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do what you do. So yes, you're an artist.
Yeah, and plus
Definitely.
you're working not just on a flat surface; it's
Yeah.
an actual like dimension surface. Right.
Me and other painters talk about that a lot. Like, I could paint a panel, I paint like plexiglass panels, easy. I'm on top of it, and I could paint it really fast. But a car, it's almost like an obstacle course.
That makes sense.
You got to move over it. You got to
Yeah,
find it. You can't lay on top of that car because you're gonna dent something.
and you have to give the illusion of like maybe it's just like one line, right, on a car, and you have to give it the illusion that it's one line.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That is wild, dude.
it gets crazy. Because that's the other thing too. You could paint a car and not like accent the car
Hmm.
like the right way.
Yeah, you can paint it,
Yeah.
right? Somebody can spray paint a car.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that. How do you feel when you see cars that are spray painted? Is it a look? Is that the look that people are going for, or is it like a easy fix? Like,
Are you like? Do you mean like those newer when they kind of painted like anime cars?
no, I'm talking about like matte black.
Oh,
Spray painted,
like when
like-
they go take it to the alleyway and they're just like, let me paint this.
Yeah.
I think they're funny, dude.
Yeah, it's creative.
They're kind of interesting. I just recently did a canvas painting, and I used a photo reference that this girl took while she was just walking around her neighborhood. It was a Cadillac, but it was spray painted like powder pink. And you could see where the spray paint like actually went onto the windows and other parts.
Oh,
And I just thought it was funny because I was like, this person like wanted to hook up their car, but they couldn't afford to. So they're
Yeah.
like, whatever, I'm going to do it myself. So I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I
That's
think
funny.
it's
a DIY paint job on your
Yeah.
car.
yeah.
What kind of car was it?
It was like a Cadillac, but like a newer one, maybe like 90s.
And scoping on your page, you have a Cadillac too, don't
Yeah.
you? What year is it?
75.
It's a 75 Cadillac. See if we can get that on the screen. 75 Cadillac. So, Mark, how long were you into being a mechanic until you figured out that mechanics don't paint cars?
I was never a mechanic.
Oh, okay.
It's just that's what I thought. So I was like, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then a friend of mine worked at a body shop, and he was all like, "Hey, come on over. This is what we do. Like, this is a paint job." And I didn't know that you had to sand cars. I didn't know anything.
Really?
And then I just learned it all.
That's Mark with her children.
Your 3 kids?
And is this a car?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that
Nice.
big old boat.
The boat. My friend had I can't even tell you what it was, but we used to call it Titanic because it was like a big lancha, like it was
Yeah.
just big.
My dad always makes fun of me. He's like, why do you have a lancha? I'm like, I like my big car.
See if there's any other photos of it.
So the way that I found you guys was because I seen the espresso machine that you guys did
Oh,
Oh, for Paul.
for
I haven't
Paul.
seen that.
Yeah.
Can you pull that up after you find her car?
Yeah. Is it this one? No, that's a painting.
That's a
Well,
painting,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
yeah,
a
I
painting
was
of
like,
my car.
wow.
We have a long list of
Wow.
things that we need to talk about here today.
Very cool.
My car's a big girl.
Yeah.
She's a big
She's
girl.
a lancha.
Yeah.
She's a lancha. And a lancha is a what?
A boat.
A boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
A ship.
A ship?
Yeah.
Big old ship.
Sorry.
Do you have
it's
other
just
pictures
art
of
and
it?
art and art.
No, don't be sorry. I want to talk about it all, but
It's a
I'm on the-
72, you said?
I'm on a hunt for
75.
It's somewhere in there.
1975. What model is it?
Eldorado.
Yeah.
Eldorado. I'm not a car buff or anything, so I kind of I just want to see it. I heard in a interview you did recently about
Oh,
the.
you can actually scroll up.
Uh-huh.
That one.
You find it?
My friend, there's more photos
Oh,
of
that's
This
the
one
car.
right
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scoot over. Yeah. So you guys were talking about this painting and how that was a self-portrait of
Yeah.
you in your car.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh my god, that looks super cool. How does it feel to have a classic car?
Really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like I feel like we're so busy right now with our actual business that we don't really cruise our cars as much as we would like
Oh,
to.
okay.
But when we do, I get like a thrill out of it. And then I always like I guess when people pull up and they realize that it's a girl driving, they're kind of like, "Oh, what the hell?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can have cars too."
You're like, yeah.
So it's not your daily driver. It's something that you just take out and cruise
Yeah.
with.
I wish she was a daily driver.
Yeah.
I don't trust
Is that
her.
possible to have something like that?
Yeah, it's just really expensive.
Yeah.
It's just really, really expensive.
A lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's
But-
nerve-wracking, man. You always could break
Oh,
something.
That's true because it's a piece of art. What am
Yeah.
I thinking, dude? You don't take out your china to eat a jelly sandwich, right? So
Well, it's like the same whenever he paints like custom paint jobs
Right.
for people, there's like certain guidelines you kind of have to like follow the first couple of months to make sure your paint cures up correctly, just so it doesn't get ruined.
so like months
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the paint job? Like what kind of things do you have to watch out for?
Well, everybody when they get their car freshly painted, they want to throw a bunch of wax on it. They want to wax it every single time they take it out. It's the worst thing for your paint job.
Man.
Or they're like, "Oh, let me protect it," so they get a car cover for it and they throw a car cover on it.
That'll
Right
scratch
out.
you right up.
It'll
Ooh.
scratch it right up, and then it's a lot of this stuff. It's all chemicals. So when you it's like you're putting saran wrap over freaking.
Oh.
It's like you're suffocating that paint job.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So all that's gonna happen is you're gonna have issues.
The
So-
paint needs to like breathe.
It needs to cure, and it takes up to like a year for it to fully cure.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's presentable. It's presentable after a couple months. Like I could buff it out, and it's nice. And people, the customers that I've had that have kept up with their car the way that I tell them to, they look like I just delivered them.
So in a perfect world, what would be the best practice for a freshly painted car that Mark just did? Like, what do you suggest to?
Let me keep
Car
it for
co-
a year. Let me keep it for a year, and I'll take care of it. But I tell everybody, just keep it clean.
Yeah.
Just wash it, wipe it down, whatever you do. But that spray detail stuff that they sell, don't put that shit on.
Don't throw.
No, don't
Anything
throw,
of that.
Don't throw that armor all crap on. Don't do nothing.
Don't wax it. Don't
wax
cover it.
Don't cover it. Just leave it alone. Like just enjoy it. Enjoy
Yeah.
it. Take it out. Let it go through the elements. Because that's what I do. Is
You should
Af-
let it sit in the sun for a bit.
yeah.
Really?
After I paint a car, like right now, it's perfect because we still get some heat, but it's going through freaking moisture in the air. It's going through heat. It's going through rain, cold, everything. So it's being like tortured right now. But after that, that's how we tell.
That's how you can tell. Yeah, because if by chance one of the layers of paint wasn't
Something
put
just
on
anything.
correctly, it'll crack, and that tells you like, okay, I gotta fix this paint job.
Yeah. And I'd rather it mess up with me than them take it home and then hit me up in a month and be like, hey, this happened.
Shoot.
Because then I have to be like, well, did you take care of it the way that I told you to? And if they did, then something happened. Something, because it's like I said, it's chemicals. There could be a mixture that either didn't mix right or moisture got into it. Something was behind it. There's a blemish. I didn't clean that little piece of dust off, whatever it is. But I'd rather it happen with me than with them.
So is everything that you do hand painted?
No, it's
Like a mixture?
It's sprayed.
So
It's-
sprayed, and then, but I mean, are you going in there like and detailing things like if someone wants, I don't know, flowers on their car, is that something that you do by hand?
Jackie does the murals by
Oh, okay.
by brushwork, but all of my stuff is like I tape it out, and I guess the way you could kind of say it's like a stencil. I don't know. Would you say a stencil?
I don't know. He's kind of just playing with air and paint application
Mm.
Yeah.
because it's with a paint gun.
Paint gun. Okay. Got it.
Or sometimes I feel like you don't really use an airbrush gun anymore. But
No.
yeah.
But even then, it's paint and air. That's what I tell everybody. It's paint and air.
Paint and air.
Yeah.
But still, I'm sure that's hard. I
And
don't think anybody could just pick it up and be like, "Let me paint my car."
Yeah. No. It's when other painters see me paint, they're like, "Dude, you just play with that shit. Like you don't. You're just playing." I'm like, "Yeah."
That's cool. There's no like, do you ever feel nervous like when you get like that, whatever you're painting and you're about to start? Like, are there any nerves coming to like, dang, I hope I don't mess it up, or is it just
Yeah. I wanna
second
throw
nature
up
to you
every
now?
time. No, every time it's just like, I hope this works. Because really, it could be I get a bad batch of paint or something's off. Something's off.
So there could be variables into
It could be anything, and that's what sucks. is
weather too, right? Do you?
weather,
Yeah.
weather. The week that
Recently,
when it was raining, all crazy.
he
I
was
couldn't-
supposed to paint a car and he couldn't because
I
it
couldn't
was
do
raining.
anything.
Even if you were inside a garage, it's the weather still plays a difference on it,
The
Is it-
moisture is in the air, so
right?
if I spray something, I'm like capsulating it,
Mm.
and it's just gonna get stuck there, and moisture wants to breathe.
Right.
Oh, so like under the paint?
Yeah.
Is there a way to have a temperature controlled
Yeah.
environment? Say whether you're in Alaska or you're in the South African jungle, is there a way to
They have
control that?
they have temperature controlled booths.
Oh,
Paint
But-
booths.
Yeah, but
Those are expensive.
I bet.
yeah, money. And you
No,
gotta
I
get the
bet.
permits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
And you have to what? Oh, permits
yeah.
to build something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like interesting
It's
work.
yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables that go into it. It's not just picking up something and all right, I'm gonna do this. There's a lot that goes into it, right?
Yeah.
Dang, that's cool.
I feel like his work has a lot more steps than my work.
Yeah.
And there's more room for mistakes that could like put you a lot of steps back. If I paint something a color I don't want, I just wait for the paint to dry, or I can even scrape it off if it's
Mhm.
wet enough. And I just paint right over it. It's fine.
And what you do, Jackie, are more murals, right? You do like, or do you do murals or just painting in general?
Just painting in general. When I do the custom paint with him, it's the custom murals. So like the coffee or the espresso machine
yeah.
that you were talking about, we did that. We collaborated together, and that was more like
Can you pull
custom
that
paint.
piece up, please?
Right here.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
I love that little espresso
Yeah.
machine.
That thing
Can
is
you
so cool.
move the pictures over?
I think there's just one. I think that's the only one.
Does Paul have it on his page, or that's
where
his
I'm at,
page?
Yeah. I think this is the only one he has. Do you have one on yours?
I don't know, people, or maybe the photographer might have more.
Yeah.
Let's
Sandy.
I feel like it pops up on your tagged photos a lot too.
Oh yeah,
Is this hers?
yeah. Maybe she didn't even post it. I don't know. Oh no, it's up there.
Is it?
Oh,
right
there
here, right
there
here.
it is.
There's Mark
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Couple different angles.
Okay.
Dang, that thing is so cool. Oh, there you guys are.
That is awesome.
It was the smallest little like thing, but it was also, I think, the most interesting one to paint because it was such a small like surface to work with, and you really have to.
So all
narrow
of this,
down.
like the marbling look, all that, you guys did all of that?
That's basically all Mark, and then the
Wow.
blue part and just the floral work is me.
So it's the bottom part too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything.
Oh,
here.
okay. I thought it was
So it's
just
like in
the.
layers, right? The blue, the brown, and then
Whoa,
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Skip over to the next picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, and then there's like the darker color.
Whoa. And what is that?
An espresso machine.
Oh, okay. It's the actual unit, or was it a cover? It's the
No,
actual
that's the
unit.
actual
machine.
unit.
Oh my god.
When he dropped it off, he's like, "This thing costs a lot of money." I was like, "Wow."
Yeah, we were like, well,
It's about to cost a little bit more.
I was like, "Just you test the coffee before
Mhm.
you serve it to somebody."
This
Yeah.
is what I want, Gilbert, right here.
I don't even think we put it back together for him. I think we just
You just
we had
painted it.
we had to take certain parts off.
I just put off whatever I took off.
Yeah, and we were like, you put it back together. I'm like, I don't want to be responsible for all that.
That's awesome. Do you get a lot of these custom works? Because I'm pretty sure an espresso machine is very custom. Have you gotten anything like that up to that point?
I think that was just the craziest thing that we got.
Yeah.
Well, together,
Yeah.
he usually gets the cars, and sometimes people will ask him if he knows someone that can do mural work, and he'll just pass it over to me.
Yeah. I did a set of wood planers.
Oh
Wood
yeah,
planers?
I forgot.
Yeah, they're
What are those?
I guess they're like sanders.
Yeah,
They're I don't know, it's something that it's a block that carves the wood
Mm-hmm.
as a little tiny
like
like
navaja, like it just has like a little razor blade and it just kind of like
Okay.
gets layers and layers off the wood. But so that you could, so it's
And you did a custom work for that?
yeah I did.
So it's like a tool.
Yeah, I did like what was it like 3 of them?
yeah, you did 3 of them, and then I did one for that
Yeah.
artist at a later date. He just has all like these vintage like woodworking tools,
Mm.
but they're all metal, so he wanted them painted. So I guess he was going to different types of artists and kind of just asking them, like commissioning them, hey, I want this painted. So Mark did his a little bit more custom paint. I remember mine just had floral work.
Wow, that's cool.
Those are
I
crazy.
forgot that we did
Yeah.
those.
What's the dynamic between you both, like when you're are you guys always together, or is it only like when you guys do your projects?
Before that question, how'd you guys meet?
Oh yeah, let's go there first, and then we'll go to the next one.
We're high school sweethearts.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
What high school?
Whittier High.
Whittier High.
Whittier High. All right.
We were
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Fellow Cardinals. Okay.
We got a funny story.
Oh my God. We dated for like 2 months. We broke off. He broke it off, left me crying at the Starbucks in Uptown Whittier. He was my first
don't look at me in a
heartbreak.
different
He
light.
was my first heartbreak, so I was like shattered. We hung out with the same friends, so we saw each other for a year, and we just never spoke to each other. We could be like at our spot at
We'd be
the high
only 2
school,
people.
and we wouldn't even. I'd just be like,
This close.
he's not here.
Really?
We could be this close. and we'd just be
Basically.
What?
like, yeah.
And-
Then,
He was gonna, cause he's 2 years older than me, so he was about to graduate, and you were able to leave campus, so he's like, "Oh, do you want tacos?" And I was just like, "Sure."
the tacos got you.
No,
Yeah.
before that, I held the door open for her. She said thank you, and I was all like, I got her. And then the next day,
Wasn't it me?
No, I held the door.
I thought I held the door for you. I don't remember.
No, you would have slammed that thing in my face.
Whatever.
And no, then then I was like, who wants tacos? You want tacos? And yeah.
And that was it.
Oh, well, I laughed because I was like, oh, he's like, well, what if they don't have what you want? And I was like, well, then I'll just message you. But I didn't have his phone number anymore. And I laughed because I saw he still had my number saved. And he came back with tacos, and he brought me an horchata too, which I didn't ask for. So I was like, okay, you get brownie points for that. But I still didn't get back with him. I think I didn't. I ignored you for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then September 2013.
Yeah.
We got back together.
So the tacos were that was the start
Yeah.
That was our first date.
of the relationship again.
Nice.
Tacos bringing
Yeah.
people together.
Oh, tacos in Uptown Whittier
Yeah.
bringing people together.
Ours was in Uptown.
Was it?
And it wasn't our first date. I'm lying because we already had met.
No, the first date
years.
was tacos.
But our first date
In Uptown
after
Whittier.
years of rekindling.
Yeah,
You're right. Tacos
Yeah.
in Uptown.
dude, tacos bringing people together like nobody's business, right? That's
all
what
we need.
that's what we need for the world, like globally, for
Share some
peace.
tacos.
You hear that, America? Tacos are bringing people together.
It'll change the world.
It will change the world. So you guys knew each other for how long before you guys started working together?
Well, we were together since 2013.
Yeah.
That's when I started. Like, I had just gotten into what I was doing. She was still in high school, and I was working at a shop like right down the street from Whittier High, and she'd go and hang out after. She'd go and
Drop 2 sodas on me.
yeah, I dropped those.
Should have dumped him there.
Yeah, no, she would wait. She'd wait, and then I'd walk her home, and yeah, just then what?
The first time we collaborated was 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, so recently.
No, well, that's yeah. I would help you
Well,
with the
on a
projects.
custom paint job.
Yeah.
The first time that we really found out, like, oh, wait, you could do your art and I could do my art
Mhm.
and it'll look good together.
But we were always kind of
Creative together. Yeah, because he had a garage that he would work in sometimes at his parents' old house when he was still living there. And he'd spend like all his free time there in the garage. And I was in art school. So sometimes I would take huge projects that I had to work on and I would work on them in the garage with him.
but yeah, even before then, you'd go with me to like the first shop that I worked at. She'd go on the weekends and we'd work on my car
Yeah.
together and stuff like that.
I don't even know what I was doing.
It was just to get the tacos, honestly. It was just to
Yeah.
get the tacos.
I was like, oh, he wants to hang out. I guess I got to work on this.
And then we were doing like the bicycles together. and
Oh,
were
yeah.
riding
We had
bicycles.
bikes
Yeah,
together.
we
What
had
the hell?
bicycles. We're
Fit
bike couple. We're bike couple.
We used to get
Whoa.
in the biking everywhere.
Hey,
Yeah. We used to see other couples with bikes and be like,
We're like, ours are
same.
custom painted.
Yeah.
Whatever. Ours are vintage.
That's cool.
so up until 2020, you guys were painting separately up until you both figured that, hey, I can add my work with your work. It's doable.
Yeah, we figured out. Well, I was kind of like taught a little formula to use, and then we were just like, well, let's see if it works.
Trade secret.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were happy about that.
And you've been inseparable since.
Oh, yeah.
Now we have studios together. Like, Mark got a new auto body shop recently, and
Nice.
I just tagged along.
As we do.
Yeah, I'm like, so which office space is mine?
Right on.
He's like, you don't even work here.
You're like, now I do.
What space can be mine?
Yeah.
What can we? Where can we work this in?
It's just the way we work, right?
Yeah.
You guys are.
I'm a chicle, I guess.
Yeah.
Just always there.
Me too.
He stepped on me one day. He couldn't get me off.
That is hilarious.
That's funny.
Chicle.
There you go.
All right.
Are you my chicle or am I your chicle?
I don't know at this point. We can both be. I'm just a piece of dried up gum underneath
You're my chicle.
underneath the mesa somewhere, dude. At a taco shop or something. Somebody just left me. And then
Picked
you
off- She
decided.
picked you off the
Yeah,
table.
she picked me off the
I was
table.
like, I like this color. And she just took it.
It's cool. It's a little dry.
Yeah.
could
You're
use
right,
some
you're
water.
right.
Let's rehydrate it.
Exactly.
No, we each have our own. We each have our strong suit, which
Yeah.
I'm sure that you both do, right? You guys
Yeah.
each. We're
Exactly.
creative as well. We don't paint, but we're creative in our own way, and then we do projects that come together, and then we do projects that are separate.
Separate.
So it works.
Yeah.
I think it's a strength when it's like two creatives together. Because sometimes I don't know what to do. So I'll like go to him like, hey, do you think this is a good idea or this or this or this? And he'll go through it with me. And same with him. Sometimes he'll be like, oh, I don't know what to add here or what like color I should use.
Do you guys ever like argue? Like
Ah.
when working together on projects?
So it's a strength, but it's a battle.
Yeah.
It's a battle, but it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
helps out.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I was hoping. I'm like, I hope it's not just us. No.
I think I don't want to say the struggle. I think just maybe the experience is there because you're vulnerable. When you're asking for help, you have to be very vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
To the question or to you're just being very vulnerable, right? And it's hard to take criticism or to take direction, even though like it's your project or the other person's project. It's difficult
Yeah.
at some points.
I think sometimes we'll ask each other for advice and then we're like, you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is my thing. You don't even do this. Like, whatever.
My thing
Yeah.
is he'll ask me for advice. I tell him what I think. And then he's like, no, never mind.
That's been
And then he like completely like just disregards what I said. Like he goes with what he initially wanted. And I'm like, okay, if it helps you, reassure that what you were saying at first helps, then fine. But why'd you ask?
right but I've been getting a little bit better.
Yeah. You
Most recently is if I'm writing a joke, I have maybe at least 5 different punchlines,
Okay.
and I run them through the amber filter, and I don't know how does that work, right? Like she gives me feedback. I'm kind of like, I don't know about that one. I was thinking of this, and I've been getting better with that, but also I take her advice. Even though I don't tell her at that spot, I use it at an open mic or I use it during a show. It works. And I don't know, you just have to be very vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? And then just take your criticism, but don't take it too hard, right?
I think
Don't take it too personal. I think that's what it is too.
I think we just told someone that a story like that where he was painting something on the roof of my car. And he's like, well, I want it to look like this gemstone. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but I can't get this texture right, or I need like this specific effect on it for it to look like what I want it to look like. And he was trying to do every other thing. And then he asked me, and I was like, you should use a brush. And he's like, I don't use brushes. You use brushes. That's how you paint. That's not how. And I'm like, well, I'm just saying. You're saying you're trying to paint a line, and this kind of sounds like a paintbrush.
So how did that work out?
I didn't listen to her. And then
Was it a brush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A brush.
But
I think I came back the next day. He's like, I didn't look. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what'd you use?
But that's a strength too, because you went through you went through all the options,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a strength.
Yeah. Because I was
Right?
like, it's either I'm going to figure this out or I'm going to go get that damn brush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got the damn
Yeah, exactly. For me, I run through I run through 10 different punchlines other than the ones that Amber
You
suggests.
like
and
to work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
no, but it's kind
Yes.
of you're running through your repertoire.
But
You're
I get
going
it.
through everything.
I get it, because then you're gonna be left with like, maybe I could have done it with something else, or
Yeah.
so you go through everything
Right.
to exhaust it, and then you get to the point where you're like, all right,
I'll try this.
I feel like you want to be sure that
Yes.
you're like
Yeah.
not skipping over a step you might be able to
Yeah.
approach it at. So you want to make sure you're, like
Yeah.
you said, doing every possible thing that you can. And then when you're like, oh, okay, I can't. So maybe I'll try what this person suggested.
First, you go through your perspective, and then
Yeah.
you go through somebody else's lens, whether it be writing or looking at art or creating a piece of art. I think perspective has a lot to do with art in
Yeah.
general, right? Whether you're writing or painting something, it's all perspective of how somebody perceives a different art piece.
That's what's funny is like you could make something or write something or X amount of things, create something.
Right.
And you're going to think of it one way and someone else is going to see it and read it a different way.
Absolutely.
I think that's always a strength because
Yeah.
sometimes they'll give you insight that your brain couldn't comprehend. And when they bring it up, you're like, oh, wow, like it does sometimes end up having like a connection to you anyways. You're like, oh, I could have thought about it that way as well. I always like that during critiques because then I just take it away and I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
You're right. Jackie, so what would you categorize your style of work? Like how would you, if someone asked you, what do you do or what kind of style do you have? How would you?
When it comes to painting, I feel like it's hybrid work because I use like realistic approaches, but then also abstract approaches with like my body of work. But when it's, I guess, like different types of ways of creating, that's what I call just multidisciplinary. Like I'm using installation work or I'm building something. I categorize like when I paint stuff that is custom paint, that's like multidisciplinary because I'm still painting but in a different way. Sometimes I do like, I guess, digital work. That's super rare.
Like this one?
No, all those Virgen ones, I made these like this design and I had it printed on shirts and also just art prints for a solo show that I had that recently closed.
What would categorize something as like digital work? Like things that you kind of draw with like the computer, or is it like
just anything I do on my iPad, I guess.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, like Procreate or something.
But it's still you're still drawing, right, with like a tool, or is it just kind of other objects?
I'm still
there.
drawing with
with the tool.
How do you feel about artificial intelligent art?
It's
AI
weird.
art.
It's
weird.
weird, but honestly, like, I'm sorry. For me, it's the same thing as like when people say, "Oh, painting's dead. You can photograph it." I'm like, yeah, but there's nothing like a painting. Like, a painting is the purpose of a painting isn't for it to look like realistic. It's for it to look like a painting, like for you to be able to see that there's brushstrokes or like little things. There's certain layerings of paint that are being put down that are making you see this object. So I see AI as like the same thing. Like I don't think AI will ever take over actual handmade art.
Is there any artwork that is, well, it's painted but from AI? Have you seen? Can you look that up? I want to know that. Look up maybe AI paint or something. I don't know. AI paint art paint. I don't know. I don't even know what to ask. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I feel like it's gonna give a lot of ideas, like for that maybe generate something that you can't envision yourself,
Right.
Yeah.
and then you could use it as reference.
But it's not an actual.
I think where it gets sketchy.
But this is digital, right? This
Yeah.
is not somebody, or not a.
Oh,
an
do you mean like
AI?
almost like training a robot to create something, but
Yeah.
using like AI to tell
Exactly.
that robot?
Kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of like RoboCop, but
Yeah.
an artist RoboCop.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I mean?
Maybe we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe we're not there.
I mean, digitally,
Yeah.
these digital pieces are pretty crazy.
You know what's weird? Now when I apply to like art opportunities, it'll specifically say cannot be AI generated. No AI art allowed.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm like,
Oh.
okay, that makes sense.
That's
Yeah,
good.
because where it gets weird is this AI that's being made, they usually just steal like I guess the style of the artist and like put it through their system. So then when someone goes on and uses the AI generator, they'll ask for the specific thing, but what it's being generated from is a bunch of stolen art.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it gets weird, and you should not use AI. Go
I had heard
ask
that.
the artist, like.
Or also there was an article a few months. It was last year, of I think it was a photographer, that went through a whole competition of photography, and he used an AI generated.
Oh, I remember you talking
photo.
about that. Yeah.
And-
I heard about that
Yeah.
too.
So supposedly him at the end when he won, because he won, supposedly it was an experiment. But I don't know. I don't know the truth if it was like towards the end, like once he won, he probably felt like bad that he had won with like work that wasn't his, and then he said, "Oh, I don't know." But that was the thing that supposedly for him, it was to see like if the trained eye can even tell that it was not a real photograph.
Photo.
Yeah, and he won. He won the entire competition,
That's crazy.
using an AI generated photo. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. He won like I don't know, like $100,000.
Can you pull? I want to see that article. Are AI generated pictures art?
I think this is where it talks about what Jackie was saying about that it
Oh, there's
pulls-
that thing. A man won an art competition.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. Is that one of the?
Oh, so it was a painting. So it was, okay.
Oh,
So it was this.
it was that. I wonder if
That's
would you
so
be able to
lame.
tell?
Yeah, because okay, well, then it also depends, like, because if the competition, I guess, was all just sometimes when you submit to these things, they just ask for a photo of it. They don't always see the piece.
I was
Mm.
gonna say that because you could see, right? Like, I mean, if you were submitting it in person,
Yeah,
you're
you'd be able to
submitting
see the
Yeah.
texture
or
and
whatever.
You're gonna be like, bro, you printed this out on a canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, this year the Colorado State Fair annual art competition gave out prizes in all the usual categories: painting, quilting, sculpture.
These things are funny though. Like, I recently last year I got pissed off because I saw this artist that was like acting like they were doing a residency in Machu Picchu and that they had accidentally set something on fire, and I was like, what an idiot. And then me and the artist ended up connecting, and he was like, I'm just fucking with people, like I'm not actually. So that thing, like, there, like, he fell back on it because he was like, no, like, it wasn't, I'm not actually trying to do that. I'm trying to see how far I can push people without them noticing
A
that.
performance piece.
Yeah, like a performance piece, like to rile up, get something out of, like a reaction out of people.
Start a riot.
Okay, so what did he do?
He acted like he was doing an artist residency
Okay.
in Machu Picchu and that he accidentally set fire to an area. But he
Oh.
was cosplaying. His whole thing was that he was a white guy that was in Machu Picchu and like almost like tone deaf of like the cultural significance
did it
of
on
the area.
purpose.
Yeah.
Was
like,
this a comic or?
no, it was an actual artist. Like
artist.
this was one of his like projects that he did where he was like, oh, like, yeah, I don't know why the locals are mad at me. Like that was one of the captions. And a lot of artists that I follow were like, this guy's dumb. And so I was like, I had the same reaction. And then I started looking at everything. And I laughed because he messaged me separately. He's like, this isn't a real like thing. Like, I'm just doing AI generated photography and I'm pawning it off as me living this experience.
Oh shit!
And then he's like, I'm not even white, I'm Latino. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are you fucking with us like that?
Everyone's all mad.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad. And a lot of photographers, because they were just like, oh my God, like, why is this guy doing this?
That's crazy. I think like it's cool. I think it's cool that now we have all these things at our fingertips, right? That you're able to create, all these things. If you want to create an entire world for yourself, you can, whatever. But then it's also really scary to the point that like we're going on the internet and believing everything that we see, right? We're scrolling and believing it, and believing it. Did you guys hear about supposedly the giant aliens?
Oh,
that
I saw
happened
something
in
about
Las Vegas this weekend.
Whoa, you gotta show me that.
I didn't see the actual photos, but I saw people laughing.
So
about
before I show you guys the photos,
this is my favorite part of the podcast. We live together, we work together, we do a podcast together.
This is how you catch up.
And
then I always have something.
She has something that's like really cool
that we haven't talked about.
So
she saves these little secrets.
I know.
I do.
Do you?
No, not for here. It's just I forget to tell
But there
you.
are some times where we go throughout our day and she'll tell me something and I'm like, oh, this could have been way cooler on the podcast. Go ahead and pull it up. I want to see it.
But wait, before I tell you. So
Okay.
the context behind it is that this weekend there was at the mall, like this big mall, huge mall in Vegas. There was about 60 police like cars, right, that came and surrounded the mall. They did like this huge like line, everything. People were running and da da da. So
That was this whole thing.
Yeah, so it was a big thing, like an actual like humanly experience. And people were running and yelling and people were videotaping and things like that, right? So this guy goes on the internet on TikTok and he start saying like, oh, did you guys see that? Did you guys see the aliens? I was there and I was running for my life, blah, 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 la, 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 right? So from there, it like spread like wildfire, right? And everyone's like, yeah, the aliens, I have pictures of them. I have videos of them, blah, 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 blah. And it just started going like crazy, 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 crazy. Well, today, the guy that did the video is like, hey guys, like I'm not even from Las Vegas.
Oh,
like,
he started a mass hysteria.
yeah, like
Wow.
he's like, I don't even know what was happening. So something really was happening there, but he
planted a little seed.
Planted a seed and it went off. And then people started doing pictures and then it went on the news and everyone's like, oh, the aliens. And you see it because I seen the video finally today when I looked it up and I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Was it like
there's
not?
no way that you can believe this. So let me look this up.
We gotta watch this because I haven't seen it.
But yeah, and he's like, I'm not even from Las Vegas. He's like, sorry guys. Oh, it was Miami?
Was it Miami or was it Vegas?
Oh, sorry, I'm Miami. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I had something.
Alien speculation.
Yeah.
So all these cop cars are here, right? But because
a 10-foot alien outside the mall in Miami?
Yes, Miami. It was so 10 foot. So the real truth was that they somebody called, like a couple of teenagers called, saying that there was a mass shooting. So, which really didn't happen, but I guess maybe they heard something. I don't know, or they were just playing. But that's why people were running, and that's why all these cops were here. But then after, when people found out the truth, people were online like, no, they're trying to hide something. You know how they just kind of go from there. So let's see this thing.
Alien speculation engulfs Miami Mall after curious New Year's Day video.
Oh, it's a New Year's Day. Let's see.
4 teens arrested. Oh wow.
Yeah, so I think those were the teens that called.
Why is there like an Asian
Channel? I don't know.
Not channel, but I don't know, that's kind of fishy. I don't know.
This is people making fun of
The
it.
Chinese government has something to do with it.
No.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, here. Is this the video? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Did it cover the whole thing?
I don't know.
Esta es una llamada a todas las unidades de la ciudad de Miami.
Whoa, that is a lot of police cars.
That's crazy.
Is he speaking Spanish?
Yeah.
For one alien? It's a
I
lot
don't
of
know
cars.
if it'll show
9:35 de la noche de hoy, 1 de enero, frente a Bayside.
No, it's not gonna show it.
No?
Las unidades.
No, he's just showing kind of like
When it was happening.
when it was happening,
Mm.
right? Let me see if I could find it. But it's like ridiculous. Like ridiculous. And I'm just like, who made this? Man.
Aliens invading.
So what? It was like a digital.
Yeah. Oh, here. That's what they were saying.
What the?
So you see that?
Rare photos leaked.
That's the alien that everyone was like.
Was this Twitter?
Those are pictures. See?
Oh my god.
The government's hiding something.
It's
Yeah,
really
that's what
look
they
cool.
were saying.
Dude, I know if I saw that, I immediately would be like, who Photoshop?
It
And
looks like
these
a
are the-
statue.
And these are the
Yeah.
photos that are going around. And everyone's like swearing. Like people are like, "Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I was there. I was running from it." Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, it's all that has to be like right, like digitally made. Like someone implanted that into.
Yeah.
I'm like, right? I'm asking.
Like, that's not real,
I'm
right?
like, right? but that's the crazy thing to me is that like we have all these tools now at our fingertips, and it's like people making it, and then people like
I'm surprised
mass
that
hysteria.
this doesn't happen more often.
I know.
Right? I feel like after this, there should be more of that.
I don't know, or maybe they were.
But I'm with all the technology we have, there should be more. Like if I was able to do anything digitally with, I'd be making tons of
Make a whole
videos.
video of that alien
Right.
walking down that street.
Exactly. And you can, like, how many people called in for that? Like that's a lot. That's a huge production.
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder if they all showed up with under the guise of it being a mass shooting, like those 60, or if they started getting, there's reports of an alien invasion.
Yeah,
So they just
so-
started showing up.
So that's why people are saying. That's why people are like, no, it was because of the alien. Because they're saying like all. I mean, you guys see all the cars, right? And
Yeah.
and it's like they're saying like, why would 60, police patrols all show up just for something that they're alleging, like like the shooting? Maybe it could have been 10, but not 60. So that's where people are feeding off of like, oh, maybe it was something more, and they're
But-
hiding it.
It looks like that's only police cars. There's no SWAT team. There's no military personnel. There's no unmarked vehicles. Like it's all police cars.
Just patrol cars.
Right. I feel like if
They were
it
just bored on the job, honestly. They
pretty
heard the
much
call.
they heard the call
Like,
over
let's
there.
all go.
They're like an alien,
I gotta see this.
a Cuban refugee. Let's see if we can all take them down or something.
10
I feel
feet
like-
tall.
Yeah.
They watch Scarface and they're like, dude, hell no.
Yeah. Like, is it like a 10-foot person, or is it like something that's I don't know.
No, but the image came out later because they're not really seeing anything.
Yeah.
They're just it was like planted there. Dang, how I wish I could draw or paint. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Is he like philosophically 10 feet tall, or is he actually 10 feet tall?
No, in the video, like he's like moving and everything too. I don't know. Whoever made it needs some work. I'll tell you that much.
So it wasn't Christopher Nolan or anybody like that. I don't know.
No.
Well, he doesn't really have a. Who made the Z? I don't know.
Oh,
Zombie
I know
movie? Not the zombie movie, the alien movie.
the newer one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I would be afraid of a 10-foot alien or like smaller aliens. I'd probably be scared of like smaller aliens, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Or you know what? I would be afraid of an alien that's like a microscopic type of thing, because we could breathe it.
He's all, ugh.
It could
It
get
took
into
over
our
the world,
skin.
man.
Right.
Easy.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think a 10 foot alien.
Honestly,
I don't know
I
about
think
that
if
one.
aliens wanted to take over the world, they would have already have.
I think they've gone by and they're like, that place is
Yes.
tacky.
That's
Let's-
exactly
They're
what
like, those people are dumb.
ghetto.
They're
Yeah.
like, that's the highest intelligence on that planet.
I
the trash
agree.
planet.
That's the trash planet.
That's
Oh,
why they
God.
don't even want to come and do anything to us.
I
They're
think-
like, eh.
I think who was it? Wasn't George Carlin. It was Bill Hicks that had a bit about that, about how the Earth was like the southern part of the
Yeah.
galaxy or something like that. He's like, we're the South. The Earth is the southern part of the galaxy or something like that. He said.
That's
I believe it.
Me
They're
too.
Yeah.
always fighting each other and shit. Leave them alone.
That's funny.
Right.
Where do you guys get like most of your inspiration? Like, what are you guys inspired by when you create art or you're, painting or anything in general?
Want to answer first?
Nah, not you.
Oh, okay. Damn it. Wait, my things are falling out. When it's like specific work, I guess, like for a series, I just look at reference images for that series. I do play a lot with like Procreate and kind of building these weird compositions. Like it's almost like Photoshop, but I'm moving drawings around and kind of overlapping them. And it's typically from my surroundings. Like, let's say I'm walking around the shop and I see Mark laying down in a car and I can only see his legs and there's like a shadow in the car. I'll paint that. I think I was working on that, tracing that photo on my Procreate a couple of days ago. So it's just surroundings or like personal experiences. And then sometimes if the subject isn't me or Mark or people that we know directly, then I get to know another person and I'll ask them for multiple photo references or just hear about their life. I'll make stuff that way.
It's almost like documenting something. Huh?
Yeah, I'm very like heavy on documenting my life or other people who I like their lives. Yeah.
Awesome. I also heard that you guys.
We're not skipping you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mark's
I'm
like,
gonna
am
skip
I
you
I got over that one.
because I seen you pass it to her.
I
So
know.
I'm like, all right,
It's all good.
I'll spare it. I'll spare you this question. But
What's a loaded question? It's hard to.
yeah,
to articulate,
absolutely. But,
right?
But I feel like in order to create, you have to be inspired, right? Sometimes like, and it like what Jackie kind of said, like anything kind of inspire. Not
it could be
anything
anything.
inspires you, but you have the eye for it. Because if I saw Mark under the car, I'd be like, all right, cool. Hope he doesn't hurt himself. I wouldn't be
I'm
thinking like
stay right there.
yeah.
Let me get my phone.
So it takes a certain person, a certain eye
Yeah.
to see, the beauty in anything, because that's what you're seeing.
A
Is,
certain vision too, because you have to imagine.
Yeah.
You have to imagine these things when people don't see them. You have to see it first before even starting.
Yeah.
I feel that's very difficult, especially articulating something like with paint. Like that's crazy.
I always laugh because I feel like painting is such a long process that during most of it, I'm just like, this is ugly, this looks dumb. And at the end, I'm like, oh, it looks like I wanted it to. Photograph it, post it on Instagram, and move on with my life.
that's funny.
It's a process, right?
Yeah.
That's just the process of it.
I heard you guys kind of say that you guys have a business now. So did you guys go from like turn your art into a business?
Yeah. Just this year,
Yeah.
we both incorporated.
Mhm.
We're business owners.
Ooh.
We're CEOs.
Nice.
Yeah, because before that, I had a space in Santa Fe Springs. I
Yeah.
had a space in Santa Fe Springs, and then they didn't want to renew our lease, so we had to move. And
That was scary.
yeah, that was horrible. But then it was kind of just like, well, looking for a space for us to keep going,
Yeah.
because we were like, well, we can't really stop. But that was really challenging.
It came like at the most inconvenient time too.
Yeah.
I had a lot of art shows coming up. You had just a lot of work that you had to get done.
Yeah.
And we kind of just had to cram everything in a certain amount of weeks. We moved out. We were able to like miraculously find a spot. Now we're in City of Industry. So the whole warehouse is 2,000 square feet.
Wow.
The actual warehouse part is Mark's kind of area. And then we built out a smaller office space for me. And there's also a bigger office space in the front. Tomorrow I'm going to have my first studio visit. I'm super nervous. We haven't had anyone come into the space yet. Yeah. Our space used to be a church. So we still have the church sign in the front.
That's cool.
Just a couple of days ago, a guy pulled up. We pulled up and he was just sitting there. And we were he was like, is this still a church? And we're like, no. And he's like, oh, I was waiting for service. And I was like, well, we're just two random people. Like, we can't offer those services to you.
You could kick it.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to hang out?
You're going to hang out, right?
He's like, all right. So when you say that you're having someone come see, you said someone to come see the gallery? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm going to have a studio visit with a curator. Oh. And I'm excited. They're going to see like some in-progress work. And then most of my finished work is currently on view in different places. Like I have a piece in a group show at Museo in Anaheim, a museum. And then my solo show just ended, but we have to go and take it, like pack all the work up, bring it back to the studio.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are always busy.
Yeah.
There's always something to do.
Yeah. I laughed because today we were on our way here and someone contacted me for another podcast. And I was like, okay, I'll fit it in my schedule.
Thanks. I'm glad that you guys came out and fit it into your schedule.
Yeah, and I'm glad we were able to get you guys in. I know we talked about this, or you and Amber were talking about jumping on a few weeks ago, but I'm glad that you guys were able to make it happen.
I feel like we always like doing these, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
They're more fun.
Yeah.
I think they're always more fun than like an actual like super strict artist interview, because then they're like, they go through all the, I think, the reoccurring questions. Yeah. What got you into art?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about aliens.
Yeah, we're talking about aliens.
Talked about aliens. We talked about psychedelic art. Talked about music.
Talked about Whittier.
Yeah. Tacos, Whittier. Yeah.
It is. It's just, it's a conversation like if we had met somewhere, you know, for the first time, and which we did meet somewhere the first time, but, you know, it's just one of those things. So it's a lot funner. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. We still want to get to know you guys and have those questions that maybe are already asked and things like that for our listeners and for ourselves, but still incorporate some fun aspects into our conversation. Definitely. Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly. So if you guys need anything from us or need help with anything, don't hesitate to reach out to us on anything. So with that being said, Jackie, Mark, thanks for coming out and doing the podcast. Can you share with us what you have coming up and where we can find you guys?
I have a group show coming up in April at Think Space Projects.
Okay, cool.
So
Cody Cody has done the podcast before. Cody Jimenez, he's awesome. Cool guy.
Yeah, that's, I think, like a project that I have coming up. And then I just post stuff on my Instagram, Sofia de Mazafan, and that's where I put all my stuff up.
What do you have, Mark?
You could find me at Little Lolo's.
We have a duo show.
Oh yeah, we do have a duo show coming up. I forgot when.
October.
But yeah, and then if you need custom work, restorations of, I guess, any kind, let me know.
Yeah.
Contact me.
We're open for studio visits too.
Yeah.
So
Sweet.
if you just want to check the space out.
So that's what they're called, studio visits?
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to have open studios, but we just haven't had time.
Yeah.
We're still kind of getting into the space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Is it ready for visits? I want to go check it out.
The front part is
Yeah?
we still need a couple more.
right.
We have graffiti artists coming in and like painting our whole warehouse.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
far,
dude, that's awesome. Congratulations to you guys.
what we had so far. We've had Vile come in, Atlas,
Pyro, Alloy.
and, yeah. Danky.
Danky B.
We have a couple of like surrealists
Yeah.
or like realist muralists coming in, and they're gonna do one whole side too.
Is Vile does he do tattoos?
No,
No.
he does the eyeballs.
Yeah, these like eyeball graffiti.
Yeah, he's badass.
That's what he's known for mostly.
'Cause I know someone that does tattoos. This thing is.
Nice.
The Mind Buzz.
That's
Thanks,
his
guys.
name. That's what I was gonna say.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Nice.